It's comics to me. Comic Bone Zone. Numero cuatro. It's gonna stay on there for forever. You guys will never avoid it. I'm I'm Cham Champenstein.
I'm um I'm Heather Hadfield.
Are you using your real microphone?
No, not today because I don't want to plug it in.
Okay.
I actually am not sure where it is right now.
Okay, Heather.
Well, I got this one. It's fine.
Anyway, you know our deal. And if you don't, we talk about the comic books we pick up every week, which for me this week is like none, zero. I'm the
Yeah,
winner.
I got a big one, so I'm going to be talking a lot today. So plug your ears.
Do you just want to take it away?
Yeah, I'll
Come
just
sail
start.
away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
Did you ever do interpretive dancing to that song when you were little?
I
No?
don't think so, but I guess since we're talking about things we did when we were little to
Mhm.
music, I did just like do like roller skate routines in my basement to like Aqua
Oh,
and
perfect.
the Spice Girls.
I used to do it to that song in particular, that Fleetwood Mac song Everywhere, and
Hmm,
then
hmm.
Wilson Phillips, Hold On.
Yeah. And anyway,
Yeah,
good,
okay, I'm gonna talk
good
about
stuff.
comics.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I have this book. This is called This is Bonding. This is a love story about people and their parasites. It's basically what it is. There's this
That's basically what it is.
That's literally all it is. Like humans have these like slugs, like parasites that are attached to them, and that
Mhm.
determines whether or not they're like compatible.
Okay.
But the story it follows Marcus, who is one of the main characters. He's kind of dealing with the loss of his sister, and he decides to start going on like blind dates and stuff, or using like dating apps. And he meets Laura, who is very detached in a way. She grew up in the foster system and stuff, but their parasites end up, you know,
Bonding.
connecting. But there's an event that almost like kills him on their first date, and so they kind of trauma bond and go through a whole thing together. It's actually quite enjoyable. I'm not very good at explaining exactly what the story is supposed to be
I,
without giving anything away.
I think you did a great job.
Well, thank you.
You
Um,
did wonderful. Show
I
those
just like
lips.
the okay, I'm trying to find a good one. I just really like the idea of humans having parasites. There's certain pages that are really funny where people are like dressing up their parasites, like putting clothes and stuff on them. I think it's great. Anyway, here's the lips. You see?
Yeah, I see him.
Okay. But yeah,
It's not like bad. The art isn't bad. It is just like it is something very different from what you might be expecting.
it is, yes, quite different. The more I read this though, the more I kind of did like it. It was just kind of jarring.
Hmm.
This is by the way, Matthew Ehrman. Emily Pearson does the art. Kaylee Davis does the colors, and Justin Birch does the letters. So overall, I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm about halfway through, but I do enjoy this quite a bit.
Okay.
Okay, I got a lot today.
I'm ready for what's next.
Okay, I'm moving this out of the way because it's not actually on. I lied about that. Okay. This is Nightwalkers. This is issue number 1. This is a Source Point Press book by Cullen Bunn, Joe Bocardo, and colors by Colin Johnson. This is just about a group of people who are at a rehab the main character who I mentioned to you earlier is just not a very good person. She has been sent there several times. Her dad is like a bigwig, makes a lot of money, is like a famous person. So she doesn't think that she has to do any of the things that anyone else does because daddy will pay for it type of person. Um, in the middle of the night, the group of people that the story follows in the rehab realize that the workers have all just kind of left and they have no idea where they went. So they're trying to investigate. It's a vampire story. It's fine. um, I actually truly enjoy the art. Like, I'm just gonna show you what the vampire.
Yeah, I saw that page. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, like the art is really cool, and it's like I told you earlier. Like the story is fine. Like I think the location, the plot is like interesting because it is a rehab center that's in the middle of nowhere because they're trying to get them clean and stuff and they
Hmm.
can't like leave. Um so yeah, it's very the end of this issue anyway is pretty like I wouldn't say atmospheric in a way, but they are like outside and with the elements rather
Hmm.
than like inside of a building. So it's like it makes it feel different. But I don't know. I can't remember if I added it or if I just special ordered it.
I cannot remember honestly.
I'll have to look into it because I am curious and I do want to
I
see how
feel
the
I'm pretty sure you did add it. So I feel like
yeah, I think I
it
did
was you and
too.
Mike who had added it.
Okay. It's fine because I do want to see how the story like progresses and stuff. And since it's a source point book, there's only going to be like 3 or 4 issues, so
Hmm.
it's fine. I don't care. Okay. And then I
That's how
have
you get yourself trapped into bad comic series.
that's fair. But with this one, Source Point always does that thing where if there's more than like one story arc, they put it into a completely separate like edition.
Hmm.
So I have to add it. So if I don't like it, I'm just gonna chop it, and then I'm gonna blacklist Cullen Bunn forever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you haven't already.
Because occasionally there's like that one shot that he did a couple years
Hmm.
ago. That one was good. It was fine.
Yeah,
I like that
yeah.
one. And the first issue of he did another book like a while ago. I only read the first one and it was fine. It wasn't like bad or anything, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll try it
Yeah,
later. Okay.
good.
So I have Almighty. This is issue number 1. It's a new Image book. Takes place in 20. There's so many different years in this one. 2098. A girl has been abducted from this futuristic society where it has broken down essentially. She gets kidnapped by a bunch of raiders, I guess. I don't know. And is like tortured and stuff. And a killer is pretty much hired to like find her and take her back home. So it's like her on this cross country mission with this dangerous killer while being
Okay.
chased by the people who kidnapped her.
Hmm.
I don't know. I did only special order this first one. I did look into that. I don't have any interest in this
Yeah.
world because they do a pretty good job of explaining like what what happens. There's like a civil war, a catastrophic environmental disaster on the American West Coast, and it brings everyone together to like try to contain it. 20
Hmm.
years later, a bunch of stuff happens, and then 40 years later, this is where we're at. So it's I don't care about that type of post-apocalyptic story.
Yeah.
There's like a weird religious cult in it, like there always is, and I don't care about that. They have face tattoos. I don't care. There's like some dudes that look like the Skull Boys or whatever from Mad Max
Hmm.
Fury Road. I can't remember what they're called, but that's what they are going for. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded kind of like Mad Maxy in its own way.
Yeah, it parts of it did give me that vibe. Here's the killer. She's
Okay.
she's aggressive. She's just not a good person.
All right. Cool.
And you can tell right away. And the girl that was
Is it because
kidnapped
she has short hair?
and tattooed eyeballs. And the main character, the girl who I can't even remember her name, she is very hard. She only cares about herself. She doesn't have feelings for anyone else.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I don't know.
Is
I've
that
read worse books, but I'm just not interested.
yeah, no, it sounds like a cliche kind of story that you don't necessarily need.
Yeah, and I don't honestly remember why I only got that first issue. Maybe I was just curious. I It does not seem like a book that I would try out at all.
Yeah.
So very confused where my mind was at that day.
Maybe the cover like caught you for some reason.
No, it can't be that. Not into that. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't. There's not like none of the people who worked on it. I'm like super into the idea. I'm not into. I couldn't tell you.
okay. Well, is it my turn, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. I have Blood Tree. This is issue number 1. Uh, this is a book by, oh gosh, I'm sorry, Peter Tomasi and Maxim Zimik. I don't know what the boys mean.
Which one?
John
Oh, it's like a ch. So it's like
Shimmick.
yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
John Colsey. I'm just fucking this up. And Rob Blake and Rob Blake does the letters. Um, I got this book because like the solicit said something about like a serial killer and angels, and that's like what it's about. The art's like all right. I didn't hate that at all by any means. I just wasn't super into the story. It felt, I don't know, nothing about it drew me in. I didn't really like the main characters at all. They
Mm-hmm.
felt like just kind of like those cliche like cop detective characters that you get in stories like these. And obviously they're not real angels and not everything is what it seems. Yeah, I probably won't get the next issue.
Okay.
Not that it wasn't bad. I just like I got other stuff I'm reading and this didn't feel like something I super like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that I get that. Did you only special that order that first one?
Yeah, and I feel like I special ordered it. Like, yeah, the solicit was good, but this like cover was also really like cool.
See, that's what I was saying. Like that cover, I was like, hell yeah, they look great. And then I opened up to the inside and I couldn't tell which person was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, yeah, and it is like completely different, completely different art. But yeah, just not a story that drew me in within a first issue, at least enough to want to like see anything about the second issue or like who the killer is. Like
Mhm.
I don't care who the killer is.
It's the cop.
I don't think it's the cop, but it's still just like I don't yeah. Anyway, I'm done.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything else.
All right. Are you
Okay, so
ready?
yeah, I'm ready. We have a
Okay.
book together. We have Where Monsters Lie. This is issue number 1. This is by Kyle Starks and Piotr
It's Peter
uh well you
Kowalski.
there we go.
And
And
Vladimir Popov does the colors. And Joshua Reed does the letters.
yeah, so this is just a story about a serial killer gated neighborhood. And one of the serial killers breaks the rules, which brings in the cops.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really like the gist of the story itself.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Here's some art from it.
I did like the art quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, this just wasn't my like favorite Kyle Stark's first issue. Like reading it, I felt like I was supposed to laugh or like have like a reaction, but I didn't really have one.
No, I didn't either. Yeah, like I feel like some of the characters are written for like the comedic effect, but like the clown,
Mm-hmm.
the things that the clown was saying, and then Fuckmaster, I just
Yeah, yeah, fuck master. It just felt like something like I get it. Yeah, it just kind of felt like it felt flat.
hmm.
Like it just felt kind of one note, unfortunately.
I am curious to see how they're gonna kill all these cops.
Yeah, I don't think all these cops are getting through.
No, there's no way. And I can't wait to see that. But yeah, otherwise, like it is supposed to be like a slasher, like horror, and I would have liked it a lot more if there was more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the first 2 pages.
Yeah.
That was it. And I get it, like slasher movies, there's always the opening scene, and then you have to build up to the next one, which
Mm-hmm.
fine. Maybe we'll see a cop massacre. I would enjoy that, but you know, we got to get there.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta build the story first.
Unfortunately. What's up,
Let
Megatron?
let us know what's going on. Hey, Mega. Heather said hello.
I know you can't hear me, but I love you.
All of our fans can hear you though.
Good. Everyone, I love Megatron. Okay, I'm going to talk about my books.
All right, go ahead. I'm ready
Okay,
for it.
I have more. It's never ending. This is Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. Look how
Mm-hmm,
good that
mm-hmm.
cover is.
Yeah, it's a good cover. Good
So good.
titties.
Mm-hmm. This just follows the story of Kerr. He is in hell and he is trying to retrieve the soul of the child. Mesh is his name. Mesh, Mesh. Um, he has been helped by the wizard that was in one of the one shots like a few issues ago, who
Mm-hmm.
was forced to help him in hell. So he is now getting help so that they can retrieve the soul of the baby, and Death Dealer is very uncomfortable being down there. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, it feels like hell's probably not the best, most fun place to be.
No, but it's really cool the way that hell in here is written, because I don't know about you, but I was raised to believe that it was hot.
Yeah, I feel like that seems like a traditional sort of view.
Yeah,
Or I guess like maybe really cold.
that's what it is here. They keep calling it frozen hell,
Hmm,
which I love that. But the dragon that he keeps fighting, the blue eyes white dragon, is an ice dragon.
cool.
It's cool. I mean, it's very, very, I do really enjoy this story. I love the art for it so much. I know I've said that several issues in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
He gets his arm ripped off here, which is like one of the cooler things that happens, because he's just walking around with his bone sticking out. Doesn't even notice that his arm is gone. Anyway, this is
That's the
the
comic bone zone for you.
there it is. This I
That's
love
sick.
this cover.
Mm-hmm.
Super
It's really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I do really, really, really enjoy this story. So can't wait for the next.
Mm.
And then I have another Frank Frazetta book. This is Dawn Attack. This is his sci-fi story. This is about the princess who is in a spaceship searching for Papa, who disappeared randomly like 30 years ago.
All right.
13, sorry, 13 years ago. Right here. The first half of this book is a flashback to what happened to the kingdom that caused
Mm-hmm.
him to not to not exist anymore.
Okay.
The art is different. Like I'll show you the art in the regular story if you don't remember, but this is like the flashback art, which is
Okay.
fine. It's like a different artist, obviously, and like a different colors and stuff, like super cool. And then when it goes back to the present, that's when we get this art again.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I flipped through the first couple pages, but didn't go like that far into it.
It's the facial expressions. I know I said that the last issue. This is only issue 2, by the way. I forgot
Mhm.
to mention that, issue number 2. So it's still very early on in the story, but she does end up, traveling to this planet because she has a device that is supposed to help her find dad, and she does end up finding dad. But I do want to show you the cover for the next issue because I know that all of these stories are based on like art that Frank Frazetta did, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that he had some type of story to go with the art that he made. But I just need you to look at this. Do you see? Do you see where dad is grabbing daughter?
Yeah, just keeping her safe.
Just a
Is it
casual familial touch.
the problem is like if she had pants on, it wouldn't be like I guess
No, it'd be
unsafe.
fine. Is
Yeah.
she near naked?
You wouldn't be so aghast.
Probably not. I'd still be a little confused. Like, there's other places he could have grabbed, but
I
it was
just like it's the heat of the moment, Heather. Is
okay.
how do you know that's her dad?
Because
How do you know that's not some other man that she met out in the middle of nowhere?
that's dad. She says father. That's
Yeah,
dad.
but um,
That's dad. That's the same outfit.
well, the hair's different. The hair's brown.
Okay, you know what? You're right. It could be someone else. Anyway, that's Dawn Attack. It's good. I do enjoy the story. But yeah. Okay, so then I have this one. This is Sulphur Wells. This is issue number 5. It doesn't
Is
say it
it
like on.
really? Oh yeah, because you got 3 and 4 on the same
Yeah.
day.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um, this is just, the small brown water town.
What?
Um,
The brown water town?
yeah.
I don't remember
The
the water being brown in this town.
there is a faucet. I said that as if you've read this story before. I'm so sorry. It's small a small town.
I just know the book's about cryptids.
Yes. It's a small town with maybe like 12 people, and they're all pretty much related. They're investigating uh, cryptids that are supposedly in the area. Some of them have seen it, some of them have not. In the last couple issues, they discovered an underwater cave that held proof of the cryptids. So they are in contact with military, I guess, to it's the town's military, their version of it. So they can
So like a
investigate.
militia.
Yeah, essentially. But again, like I said, it's all like they're all related in that town. So it's all like, hey, get a hold of Bob, we gotta go do this type of thing.
Okay.
But very small town behavior. But yeah, they're just going to investigate the the treasures and try to see if they can find the cryptids. It's not going well for them.
All right.
And then this is the back of it. I am going to pull out all the other ones so I can see if they connect.
Yeah, they have to.
Because I have 5 of them, so there's got to be some sort of picture. Okay.
Seems right. Okay, my turn.
Yes.
All right. I have a book called It Took Luke. That's not what it's called. Just take 2 and then cut that out. It's called It Took Luke, Overworked and Underpaid. This is a book by Mark Bouchard, Bailey Underwood, Micah Myers, and Jasmine Walls. You know the orders those usually go in, so just figure that out yourself who did everything. Anywho, this book was supposed to come out in October. I don't know what happened. I feel like it was first originally a Kickstarter. It came out in October, I think, with at bookstores maybe. It came out some places, but then on it technically just came out via like our lunar like distributor.
That's what happened to this too.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was really funny because I was wondering about that one because I thought you had said something about it. This one says October 2022.
Yeah. And so anyway, it was just a whole thing where I had like just thought that maybe this book was gone or somehow I missed it. So I was like, I gave up and then I went to work last Monday and there they were. And I was like, oh, cool. I've been wanting to read this. Anyway, and if you've been listening to any of our Nature's Labyrinth like talkings, we've been trying to figure out where we know the name Bailey Underwood, which I think was from this book itself, seeing their name for the artist. Anyway, just a story about a team of exterminators who their job is to get rid of like demons, basically. Um, it is a guy named Luke's first day. The head of the extermination group, Sal, is like, we can't like train a dude in the field on this. Like this dude's gonna die. Basically that's kind of what happens. But it's a pretty wild story. The art is fucking really like I love like the black and white, like gray tones with like the reds.
Yeah,
The
that's sick.
characters are all really like interesting. The main character is Sal, and they're like basically going through it. They're having a time. They've been living in their van for like their work van for several months. They're trying to get back with their partner. Um, and work kind of like overrides a lot of stuff for them. And this sort of thing is like, I don't know. It was a really good story. Like I said, the art was so fucking good. So good. I wish I kind of want to show you the monster, but I know you're gonna read it, so I can't do that. But I guess like there's a little peek at him
Yeah,
there.
that's cool. I
And
like
like
that art a lot.
yeah, and the cover is like a pretty good. Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah, just looks really good. Story was really interesting. Super duper quick read. So,
All right. Very good.
anywho, you ready? It's us
Yeah, I'm
together.
ready. Let's do it.
We've got Briar. This is issue number 3. This is a story about Briar Rose after she is awoken from her slumber of like seemingly what that like at least 100,000 years. A
It's a
hundred.
lot. I can't remember exactly how many, but it was a lot of years.
In this issue, they meet with some what dwarves,
Yes.
and Briar is really excited to meet up with these dwarves until they turn out to be just like dicks,
Yeah, they're little knuckleheads. Gnomes.
gnomes, uh, and a little bit of at the end, little bit at the end, the bad guy catches up to them.
Yeah, it really didn't take them long.
Yeah, it was very quick. I love the art and colors in this book so much, and I like the gnomes too. Like look at that
Mhm.
little gross man.
I
Like they're
do love
great.
them.
um yeah, I really like this story. I just like I can't get like a grasp on it 100%, if that makes sense.
It is very I don't know. I think it's just taking what we know about like fairy tales and kind of twisting them a little bit, which is
Hmm.
cool, but it's yeah, not what I was expecting for it, especially with like the introduction of the characters that are in here because we've
Yeah.
obviously never met anyone other than Briar Rose. So I don't know with Spider,
Yeah, the blue lady.
yeah, we don't I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like I don't know anything about like that particular story, so it's like it's just changing everything, which is
Hmm.
again it's fine, but it's just hard to follow it.
Yeah, it can. I think that's like the book is kind of dense at points, and I think the first, like the second issue, kind of. I guess this is only issue 3. is it the first issue that kind of goes over like Spider's background a little bit more?
A little bit.
But it is just like it felt like there was a lot of information kind of packed into like the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, I don't know. I really like it. It's just like there's a lot of information to take in and like a lot of pieces.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's
It's a
really
lot.
good though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you said, the colors, the art is really good, and the story is really, really good. But I think for only being 5 issues, it's just a lot of
Yeah.
information.
This is 3 right now.
No, I mean I'm saying for like
5.
the whole, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like there's supposed to be 5, and you can kind of tell in this one how it's like we're getting to the main like plot
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
trouble that they're getting into. But yeah, for it only going to be 5 issues, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Sorry, my bad for the misunderstanding.
that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Legion of X. This is issue number 10. I have not read this one yet. I am kind of, as I mentioned, the last Legion. I'm just kind of a little burnt out on X-Men right now, which is a shame because I, love my boy, love Kurt. But this is kind of I think it's falling in line with what's happening with Sins of Sinister and that whole storyline. I have not had a chance to read that yet. I keep meaning to grab that last issue that's on the wall so I can check it out. But basically, Nimrod made it to Krakoa. The Legionnaires are doing their own thing because they've been captured and stuff is happening. But again, I didn't read this one, so I'm not exactly sure. I know when I was flipping through it, something happened to David. He's not okay, Legion. And but my favorite thing is this is as far as I read was 1 page, and it's when Xavier says Blindfold is like, Professor, your son, he needs you. And Xavier says, my people have to come first. There's no time. I'm sorry. And then he just walks away. And this is after he was trying to make amends with his son.
Good.
And,
Yeah.
I get it. But come on, dude. Your kid is dying and you just walk away. And maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. Who knows? So this is Nobody's Girls. This is issue number 3. This is actually the last one.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be more, but there's not. This is the last one. So basically, he's just investigating a snuff tape that he found of this lady, Lupita. He's investigating it, trying to find out what happened to her because he's really disturbed by the stuff that he saw. It is concluded in here. You figure out what happened to Lupita, which is nothing. It was just a way to make some money. He literally runs into her on the street and is like, "Where have you been?" And she's like, "Around." Like, it was such a weird ending to this.
Yeah.
Because he like goes through all of this like trouble. He gets beat up a bunch. Like he finds like he watches someone get shot, like just all sorts of crazy stuff. And she's just like, thanks for caring about me. And then he goes home, and the girl in the first 2 issues that was originally like helping him with it was like trying to bang him and stuff. But yeah, the girl that was helping him in the first couple issues, who had like this weird crush on him, she kills herself. It's like, it's such a weird fucking ending. I can't. It's fine. For like being 3 issues, like it was interesting for me. It was like going along with this investigation was cool. Like him going through all this trouble to like figure out what happened to this person that he doesn't even know her like personally. He just like made the connection that this was a real person. And the ending was just like so just lackluster. That was not what I was expecting at all for it.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a letdown.
But I mean, again, 3 issues did not take a lot of like thinking. It was fine. It was fine. Okay, I got one more.
Okay.
This is Flawed. This is issue number 5. I believe there's one issue left.
Okay.
You discover exactly how they have been harvesting the blood from the character that they've been using the blood from. You discover like how that started and like what is and how the story progressed from there.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens to, I can't even remember the dude's name, the bad guy,
Mm-hmm.
who is
Mm-hmm.
the whole reason they're in this mess to begin with. He's just been drinking this dude's blood and like living longer because he's an old man. But the main character here, she gets into a battle with the assassin, like the young assassin girl, and a bunch of shit goes down, and they end up like bringing her over to their side so that they can kill the bad guy who is the reason why all of this mess started. It's still good.
Yeah.
This one was a little confusing because it did go back and forth, and I am just there was no difference in like art or anything, and I know that's not like a necessary thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just a little confusing for me because it like says the past and then it has like the story of the past, but like some of these characters don't look the same
Mm-hmm.
as they do when you like first introduced to them, so I wasn't sure like who they were supposed to be, and they're crucial parts of the story.
Yeah.
So that was my main issue, but once I kind of like made the connection, it was like, oh, okay, I do know who these people are, then
Yeah.
it made it a little easier to understand. But the story is still good. I like this vigilante. I think that's sick. I think there's only one left, so I'll let you know how the story goes.
Okay. Okay. Uh, all right. I guess I'll talk about mine. I have The Approach. This is issue number 4. Uh, I thought this was the last issue, but there is actually one more issue. I'm just really ready for this story to be over with. I like the art a lot. I just feel like the story doesn't have like there's not a lot here. And in this issue they cram a lot of like information in there. It feels like in each issue, instead of like spreading out the stories of these characters, they kind of jam it into like each issue before lots of action scenes,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess makes sense, but it's just like the way the flow of the story just doesn't feel that great. Um and in this issue you kind of have your like big heroic moments and monster gets blown up. I don't know.
It's fine.
It's fine. It really is. I just don't personally like it at all. Like I like I said, I really like the art. I think it looks really good. Um I like aspects of the book, but I do not like the story.
Okay.
I don't think it's a good story. Like I've said to you before, I feel like it could have just been like an oversized one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I would have been fine. I would have been like perfectly fine with that because then it would have just been like all contained and just, I feel like it would have flowed a little bit better like that. I don't know. Just not haven't been into it, which is unfortunate. So
Yeah. But I mean, at least the art is good. That's like one positive thing, you know?
yeah, for sure, for sure. And I feel like this is like one of those books where it seemed it seemed like from the beginning I wasn't going to like it, but you
Sometimes
know,
you just got to stick it out.
yep, yep, for sure. All right, are we done? Is this the last
Yes.
one?
This is the last one.
Okay. So last we have Children of the Black Sun. This is issue number 2. I just special ordered this second issue.
Okay.
I don't know if you have. Have you added it,
I
Adam?
did end up adding it, yeah, because
Okay.
I liked it enough, and I really like the art for it.
Yeah, I like the art a lot. Um, I do like, I am intrigued by the story, but
Mhm.
there is like an aspect of it where it just like the end of the this issue in particular, I was kind of confused about like what had happened.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad you said that because I was too. I couldn't figure out who the guy is
Yeah, same. Because
because
it's
they showed two different guys that look very similar.
yeah, yeah. Um, so what we learned in this issue otherwise is
I
that
forgot.
the older children from the Black Sun, oops, are fucking freaks
Yeah, they
and
are.
they are out to corrupt our younger children of the Black Sun by teaching them about like the abilities that they kind of can harness, and that ability is kind of to like control people's emotions or like
Compulsions.
yeah, give them kind of thoughts or feelings, change the things they do, um, which I thought was interesting. I liked the scenes where it was just like scientists talking about the Black Sun, giving their different theories of what had happened.
I did like that too because you have like an actual doctor, scientist, whatever, and then you
Hmm.
have just like this Alex Jones nut. I
Yeah.
did like the different theories that they had and stuff.
Hmm.
They were interesting. And I do want to say I would be stoked if I had a kid, children of the Black Sun.
If you had a fucking freak child,
Absolutely, that looked like that. Are you kidding me? I would be so excited.
it's like they're low key evil. And I mean, they're probably not even low key evil. I think they're about to be like high key evil.
The first round, definitely. The second round, I feel like they are getting sucked in because they're younger and more impressionable.
Hmm.
I feel like they have more of the ability to not be evil. I don't think that they are. I just think that because they have these older
Like they're yeah
influence,
impressionable and
yeah. Because I think that, with the first round of them, they were not understood as well. And so
hmm
they probably didn't get the same understanding as like the second round because you do see with like their parents, the younger ones as parents, they do love them and they are trying,
yeah.
but you don't see the parents of the older ones, so you don't know. So I wouldn't mind one of the younger ones. I think that would be fine.
uh, but yeah, books all right. Like I like the tone of it. I just don't know if I might special order the third one. I just can't make that decision yet.
You can just read mine.
Yeah, true. They have those something is killing the children like homage covers, and I keep having people ask me if it's like in the same universe, and I'm just like, no, it is not. It's just done by an artist who did the second story arc of House of Slaughter.
It
And
would be funny if it was
they're just banging
somehow
they're
in the
banging.
same universe.
I mean, like in my head, I'm like, I guess it's kind of possible, but I don't know
Maybe we'll figure it out someday.
about so that's it. That's all we got. We don't have anything else to talk about comic wise. Um, so go to your local comic book shop and buy some comic books and give them all your money, your shops, and take care of your friends and love one another and do good things. What you got, Heather?
Um, I don't have anything right now. I did earlier. I thought I did, and I feel like I told myself to remember it, but now I don't remember what it was.
It's okay. Just send me a message and I'll just post up a screenshot of your text and
Okay.
I'll tell the people what you were thinking.
I do remember one thing that I was going to say, but it has nothing to do with this, so I will tell you in a little bit.
Okay, okay. Anyway, we appreciate you listening, and we will see you next time on the flippity flip. Bye.